get you there. Alright, I went to the bartender mode for a second there. You mentioned... When we were talking earlier, you mentioned something about Roz. The one mentioned on Oliver's diary? Oh, yes, right. Well, I was hoping not to bring her into this, but Roz Moses is one of our regular performers here. She runs a couple of nights a week. She and Oliver, they know each other. How did they know each other? Like I said, Roz runs a few nights here, and Oliver was a regular. One of the last entries on Oliver's diary reads, "She doesn't understand me. Despite everything she hid from me, I'm the one that ended up in the cold." They always seem to get on fine now. You often see Oliver talking to her at the end of the night. Then a few nights ago, they had a huge argument. Things turned nasty and Roz threw Oliver out. Made me ban him from the premises. Every night since then, Oliver's been outside, completely bladdered, as Casey might say. It means he was drunk, very drunk. He begged to be let in, but what's the use of borrowing someone if you reverse it immediately? So he just stayed out there shouting and screaming at everyone. It wasn't great for business, but, like I said, he was a troubled soul. Had he been sleeping out there too? I don't think so. He certainly had been around in the daytime. Why'd you ask? His belongings were in a bag outside his apartment, so it looks like he's been evicted from his residence. I also explained why he was in front of the club this morning. Was he outside when you left the club last night? Not that I saw, but I lock everything inside, then leave from the back door, so I wouldn't have seen him if it was there. Do you know where Roz is right now? I'm just checking something. 1 second, sorry about this. Right. On her way here, that detective of yours asked me to bring her in, but turns out she was on her way here anyway. Oh, interesting. An ETA? Roz came when she comes. She's kind of a free spirit. Fran, is this coat yours? No, I think it is. Oh, what the hell? What do you think you're doing with my coat, huh? No, call your jet, so I was only pulling your leg. Well, I be. Sure did a number on the front, didn't they? You okay? All okay, Fran? Fine, if a little shaken. Then when I find out who did this, I make them wish they never left their mama's pouch. Oh no, this is Roz Moses, the queen we were talking about. I knew it. I knew my ears were burning. Well, pleasure to meet you. Say, you look awful familiar. Well, I got it. I saw you in Celeb Life, right? I haven't missed an issue for 10 years. But probably, I don't pay much attention to that stuff. Scout, didn't you say that Celeb Life was garbage for people who don't have lives themselves? Scout! What did that little rush bucket say to me? Anyway, could I have a quick word? Oh, now, what can I do for you? Talk a little bit about yourself. You work here, right? A couple of nights a week, yeah. Some nights I perform, some nights I host. Either way, it's full on osmosis. Full on is, you mean the look? Yeah, that's the point. One of our regulars once described my look as like a punch in the face personified, and he was one of the few I hadn't actually punched. And she scares me. How do you know the victim? What? Who's the victim? His name was Oliver Laurel. What? No! I hear you had a disagreement with him a few days ago? It sure was a mess, yeah. To be honest, I don't really know what it happened, how it happened, but what was it about? Ollie he was working a lot of stuff out, you know. A lot of people here are, in the beginning at least. He came from a very strict background, Christian, Catholic, something that began with C. He had a lot of repressed shame, so probably Catholic. His parents kicked him out, and then, well, he came here. I think he was looking for his tribe. How did you end up in an argument? Well, he told me he liked drag queens. And thought he was gay. But there was something about drag queens tickled his pickle, I guess. Happened more than you think. Then a few days back, he told me that he liked me. Liked me. I was flattered, of course, but, well, I had to tell him that I'm not a dude. And that's when things went south. Wait, what? Wait, you're not... You're a woman? Anyway, that made poor Ollie even more confused. I took it the wrong way and thought he was turning me down. Which made me see red, and I hit him. Friend thought he'd hit me, so he barred him. We have a very strict policy about kind of violence or threatening behaviour here. Well, from the customers at least. I was going to get him barred when it had all calmed down, but I didn't get a chance. I hope you don't mind, but I'd just like to make sure I have this totally straight. You're a drag queen, but you're a woman? Sure am. I'm what some call a bio queen, which just means I came out my mama's hidey hole with all the female equipment. Well, I just assumed all drag queens were men. How did you end up doing this? I came to LA expecting to find my fortune in Hollywood. Of course, I was wet behind the ears then. Thought there'd actually be parts for someone that looks like me, didn't I? When the truth sunk in, I figured I'd get into comedy. I moved into performance, which became what you see now. I never really felt at home with female gender stereotypes, so Roz is my way of taking them to the extreme. Kind of giving you everything at once, you know? Do you get much work? Most of the gay clubs won't hire me because I'm not a guy. Seems hyper-femininity is just for the boys. You thought it, huh? Fran's been good to me, though. She knew I could entertain the crowd, and that was all she cared about. Could you tell me about your whereabouts last night? Sure. I was working here until about 11:30 p.m. and went straight home. You see Oliver on your way out? No, can't say I did. My friend mentioned that he was outside the club most nights recently. Obviously, he was there when he... Oh, yeah. I saw him out there a couple of times this week, but he wasn't always there, you know? He comes and goes, but yeah. He wasn't there when I left last night. You plan on letting me have that back at any point? I've detected a lot of stains on the coat, mostly like kombucha. And so what? Found this broken glass outside. Oh, probably from a beer bottle or something, right? People are always dropping stuff out there. Smells like kombucha to me. What are you, some kind of dog? I'm not sure what's all this about. I didn't even see Oliver last night. You might want to reconsider that statement. Why is that, darling? So I think you did see him. Oh yeah? What makes you think that? We found this bottle smashed outside near the crest site. It's pretty clear that it's a bottle of kombucha. And? Well, we know that was Ollie's favourite drink. We also know that this coat is yours, and it's covered in kombucha. What are you trying to insinuate here? Why don't you come out and say it? Come on, Roz. No good can come from hiding the truth. Okay, fine. So maybe I did see Ollie last night. When I was leaving, he was out there. He came at me yelling about how he'd lost everything. His home, and now his friends too, and that's when he spilled the kombucha on me and I saw red, and well, I might have swung my bag at him once or twice, so... Why didn't you tell us this earlier? Because it makes me look bad. And it's totally unrelated to the crash. Besides, you ain't even a police officer. No, she's not, but I am. What? I want to talk to you. Get a proper statement, and we'll do it at the station, given that you've lied to us already. I don't trust you to not tamper with evidence. But I could work with the inconsistency on. I help too. Listen, while I'm handling this, there's something else I want you to take a look at. Please don't tell me this is more busy work. I hate these. Oh. Let's do this. Usually there is something in the corner. Anyway. Right, There we go. What have I got? An awards photo. Why have I got this? Did you want me to have a look at this picture? Wait, what? How on earth did you do you have this? You recognise it? This is a photo of the Miss Terry cast and crew at the Starshine Awards, the year we won Best New Show, but it looks like Blake's face has been circled. Found in Truly's apartment. I'm convinced that there was more to this death, so I've been investigating on the side. That doesn't make any sense. Casey took this photo and used my camera. And when I got it developed, I gave it to Mom. That's the only copy. So if Sharon had it, how'd it end up in Frank's apartment? Guess the best place to get that answer is straight from the horse's mouth. Don't tell her I called her that, okay? New mystery! Let's head back to your apartment. We could always just move somewhere else and never go back. How attached are you to that apartment anyway? Fine. Let's go see Mom. So, wow, so much drama and not even midday. Thanks for sticking up for me earlier, Casey. Maybe you don't mind that I told you to stand down. I get it, but you know, one day I hope you really let me off the leash with him. I've been storing up a lot of things I want to say to that slimy knuckle dragger. Trust me, I know the feeling. We get our chance someday. I just can't believe he had the audacity to rig the Starshine Awards just to get back at you. What a weapons-grade wanker. What do you take on all this? Do you think Rose did it? I mean, the girl's got more issues than variety. I like her, but I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of her. But do you think she drives a giant pride parade float into someone? No, that's more reactive than that. She's more reactive than that. She just punched them into a fine pate instead. Pate? How refined? It's not refined, you're just American. Anyway. Anyway, she's clearly a person of interest. She knew a lot about Ollie, especially his recent mental state. Could be important. What are your plans now? Think of sticking around? Yeah, I want to see if there's anything I could do to help Fran. Sorting all this out is going to be quite the ball ache. Still feel guilty for not being around as much anyway. So, this feels like a good opportunity to make amends. Calm down, have we? Mom. Well, are you ready to be civil? I really need to get that key back from you. Over my dead body. Don't tempt me. Well, what is it so urgent that you'd come down to the club and talk to me? Exactly what it is. You're doing this detective stuff again. I'm good at it. You know that Scout and I worked out who killed Dick Stanford. I didn't say you wouldn't be good at it. If anything, that's what I'm worried about. Look, you said your piece, Mom. You're scared. I get it. I don't take pleasure in causing you stress, despite what you might think, but I can't hold myself back because of you. I'm good at this. I enjoy it. Even Detective Cross has come around. And what if you die? What's the point of being so scared of dying that you don't ever live? Oh, how poetic. That doesn't change anything. Was there anything else, or was that it? I don't think it's over, Anna. Can't let you make the same mistake your father did. God knows he had his faults, but I think the answer to my question was no, there's nothing else. What'd you show me that for? Mum, don't you remember? This is the photo I gave you from when we won our Star Shining last year. I remember, but why do you have it? The real question, Mum, is why you don't have it. I gave you this photo for a reason, because I thought it might finally make you proud to see me successful. You should have realised I was trying to get blood out of a stone. Oh, Anna, stop being so dramatic. Just because I don't agree with most of your decisions doesn't mean I'm not proud of you. I've always been. You are? Wait. I definitely want to talk more about this, but I need to know how this photo ended up where it did. This one? I think I gave it to Ryan. You what? Oh, don't start all that again. It was during the divorce. I met with him, hoping you two could sort everything out. I showed him the photo to remind him how happy you could be. I wanted him to try. He asked if he could have it, and, well, I thought, if it might help, why not? So if Ryan had this photo, how did it end up at Frank's? Oh no, I think I've made a connection. Ryan hired Frank to blackmail Blake. What made you think that, Scout? Well, when he hacked in the police fingerprint files, showed that Frank worked for a private security firm called Leaf Security. Blake has been circled in the photo. Given your mother's testimony, it doesn't make sense why she would have done so before handing it to Ryan. Therefore, we can assume that Ryan wanted to target Blake for something and went to Leaf in order to do so. Doing his own dirty work was never something Ryan was interested in. Why? Why would he hire someone to blackmail Blake? Good question. Here is my theory. Because he wanted to get you fired. Remember the Polaroids we found in Blake's office? They proved that someone tried to get you fired. That bastard! You said that Ryan was very controlling. This could have been his attempt to continue controlling you, even after your divorce. I think it's time to set a little trap for my ex-husband.